Good Wednesday afternoon, guys. My name is Jerry Miller, and welcome to the I Love CVille Show. Thank you for joining us on a glorious day to be alive. We're live in Charlottesville, across the Commonwealth, the country, and the world on the I Love CVille Network. Dr. Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine, a fantastic partner of this show. Who's got your back? Scott Wagner of Scott Wagner Integrated Medicine and his team absolutely have your back. The fine folks at Ting Fiber Internet power the network. Ting is crazy fast internet. Judah Wickhauer is our director. Again, I'm Jerry Miller. I've been looking forward to today's show for most of the week. This gentleman, his third rodeo on the show, who we're going to welcome to the program in about 15 seconds, is inspiring. He's transformational. He's a leader. He's empathetic. He's compassionate. He's a risk taker. He's changed his career completely. You're going to spend 30 minutes with Chris Skipper, and you're going to leave feeling better about yourself. I can certainly guarantee that. So excited about this interview. The news portion of the show, we always start the program with, we're not even going to do today, so we can spend more time with Chris. The news like home prices and lumber prices and Atlas coffee being sold, all that can wait till tomorrow on the I Love CVille Show at 12:30. Judah, on that note, let's go to the studio camera and let's welcome Chris Skipper to the program. How are you, Chris?
I'm good. I'm so glad to be here. I mean, it was nice to be able to communicate with you virtually during the shutdown, but this is much nicer actually being here. I love the whole. I mean, as a nutrition coach, I love the interpersonal thing. You know, that's my favorite part.
Yeah, one of your many gifts is the gift of human connection.
Oh yeah.
You love people. Put that in perspective.
I think it's God-given. There is something that, no matter how good or bad things are around me, I can always find a way to have my glass half full. And that's mostly because I really believe that people are inherently good. Working for ACAC and also as a private coach on my own, you hear amazing stories. You see people overcome things every day, and you really find that you're a part of a community that really values growth in every sense of the word. I mean, not just in the physical. A lot of people who start their health journey, myself included, I want to lose weight. I want to gain muscle, whatever the case may be.
You've done both.
Thank you. A lot of work, a lot of time, sustainable action. I've said it every time I've been on here. But that flowers into something quite different, because I think that, a lot of times people who want to get fit are perceived as vain. And I think that, who doesn't love to look good? But
right?
that aside, I think that there's a quality of life and an emotional intuition that starts to kick in once you really start to get involved in your own health, because that becomes a community aspect. And, I think that's really what Charlottesville is all about, the community aspect.
Well said. And dude's got some pythons right here. Can we
God.
get the flex of the pythons right there?
But,
Look at Skip.
Ooh, did a little chest day today, so I'm a little tight.
Guns out, sun's out, guns out right here for Chris Skipper.
Look like a coach, quack like a coach or something, I don't know.
I like it. Matthew Park giving you props. Joe Jacobs giving you props. Joanna Breslin, who's on the program tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's going to come on
Joe.
with David, the new CBD shop on the downtown mall.
Nice.
We're going to talk marijuana and CBD tomorrow.
Fun.
Today, fitness, though.
Yeah.
So much of your story is the 180. Put the 180 in perspective, because when you talk the talk, you're doing it after very much walking the walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I take 10,000 steps a day.
Do you really?
No. Yeah, but that was kind of a joke. But it's true too. But no, so as far as the 180 goes, in 2019, I would say I was probably at the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life. I was primarily a restaurant server, bartender, restaurant manager, whatever, living the lifestyle, and a lot of you who may be watching know exactly what I mean by that.
Yeah.
And I just got so fed up with it that I felt as though I was on my way out, and then the restaurant, and I have nothing but love for this place. The restaurant that I was working at shut down, as it did whenever the you know what hit the fan with the pandemic, and I, rather than sulking back into old defeatist habits, decided, wait, this is it. This is your moment to refocus and figure out what it is you really want to do. So at that point, what I did is I enrolled in the Precision Nutrition Certification Program. And I've kind of bounced around here a little bit. So that's how I became an exercise nutrition coach. I spent several months studying this incredible program that is much less based on what the mainstream media would have you think goes into actually getting healthy, and more focuses on a client-to-client basis. But in 2019, I had a friend actually dare me to go to ACAC for the first time with him. And
This is as you're wrapping up the restaurant lifestyle and going balls to the wall all the time.
So I was still in restaurants at this
Okay.
point, but I had
Okay.
just started deciding that I wanted to lose weight and change my life.
Got it.
So I was like, okay, well, why not? I'll try this. I've never turned down a dare. So I decided to go to the gym, and I was, terrified at first. I mean, because there's the whole stigma surrounding gyms and fitness professionals and people that work out, that they're just kind of lunky meatheads and everything. And it turned out to be very false. It turned out to be, especially with ACAC, God knows being a part of that community has changed my life. I felt very welcomed. And at this point, bear in mind, I was 340 pounds. So to feel welcomed as a morbidly obese person who had been that way for 2 decades was started to kind of change my perception of the reality I believed health and fitness to be. And then my workout partner kind of fizzled out, and I decided to keep going. I joined. I remember I sat across from the membership coordinator that day and decided that it was
it
time.
Chris?
I think it was
Chris Collins?
Yeah, because when I first came to Virginia, I thought about joining but didn't get that far. And then Chris is the one that got me ultimately signed up this time. Love Chris Collins, great guy. Speaking of inspiration. So I kept going, and I picked up a trainer, and I started to realize that a lot of my fear and a lot of my thoughts about what healthy and fit people in a gym were inaccurate. And I just kept going back, and I kept going back, even though I didn't really believe that I could lose weight or gain muscle or have a better quality of life, because I thought, I bought into the genetics thing. It's in my genetics, blah, blah, blah. I'll never lose weight, whatever. Again, more lies that we're told to stifle us out of doing things that are good for us. And so it just became this crazy, wild trajectory where I started taking classes, I started training with a trainer, I started getting workout buddies and building that community, and I started losing weight. And before I knew it, I had lost 50 or 60 pounds. And that was crazy. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here to when things did shut down. Boy, was I destitute, because, I had made so much progress, and I was like, I can't stop now. So instead of giving up again, that defeatist attitude I used to have, I literally bought maybe $300 to $400 of home workout equipment.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I even got a freaking Bowflex.
Wow.
Yeah, I haven't heard that phrase since the '90s. So I'm dating myself. But anyways,
And it was hard to find in the pandemic.
It was. I got lucky. I mean, I get lucky a lot when it comes to opportunities and situations, but I couldn't wait to get back to ACAC. It shut down, and I was just like, okay, I got to keep this momentum up a little bit. And then I got laid off from my job. And then I was like, wait a minute, here's the opportunity that you've been looking for to get out of restaurants, right? And so what happened from there is I got the nutrition certification. I honed in and just studied and studied and studied. I dedicated all of that off time towards it. And then a job came open at the ACAC water park as a manager on duty. And I actually applied as a cafe employee, and the manager contacted me and was like, "You're way too overqualified for that, so why don't we make you a manager?" And I don't say that to humble brag, I'm building to a point here. So I got more and more involved in the culture. I kept losing weight and training and working hard. And when the water park shut down, I went indoors. And I ended up taking a job as a lifeguard and working in member services. Now, the reason that I say that I was hired as an MOD but applied as a cafe team member is because I am now the cafe director at Albemarle Square and the water park.
That's awesome.
So it all kind of came full circle with ACAC, and I credit that to hard work, but what I really credit it to is the shift in mindset and capability that has come from getting fit. Everything in my life I have today, I have because I decided to lift that first weight. Sometimes you hear something and it just kind of hits you, you know? So I'm extremely grateful to ACAC for all of the opportunities, and they've been very supportive with something I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. But, you know, as far as deviating a little bit here, first and foremost, I'm in the process of getting my ACE certification so that I can be a personal trainer for ACAC. Now, pivoting here completely, my private nutrition coaching business started out as a very small operation. You know, they tell you when you get your coaching certification that you start, because no matter what, you know more than the people that you're coaching, so you need to help them now, right? So like over the past, geez Louise, has it been a year since the shutdown?
Yeah.
More than a year, yeah. So I have since, like, you know, at first I was coaching beginners only. I'm now coaching athletes who have been at it for longer than me. I am coaching older people who believe that they can't get healthy, which is, again, a lie. I mean, you know, there's a young man who I admire so much. He's going to Mary Washington in the fall to swim, and he asked me to help him gain 15 pounds of muscle in a 3-month period. I helped him gain about 12 pounds in a 5-week period. So it's funny how, like, I was so unsure of myself at first, and now I find that I'm seeing great success with these clients, and that means the most to me, because the only reason I do it is because I want people to have the same experience that I have had.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. But like that boils down to this concept of like, so like our belief system with health and fitness is built on previous experience, right? So like if you have had a bad experience with a coach, or you don't know how to eat, or you don't know where to start, or you hated the exercise program you were on, then that's what you're basing your belief system about health on. That has to be changed. So you have to create positive experiences in health and fitness to have a positive experience. And I find that that's really, for me, what the biggest jump was, killing the memories of the negative experiences I had and creating positive ones.
Okay, so let me throw this to you. First, I'm going to relay the people giving you props. Marilyn Walsh, Alice Fotick.
Oh, yeah.
Victoria Hornsby, Diana Franco.
Oh, wow.
Courtney Valadares.
Oh, I love you.
Nate Tights.
Oh, yeah.
Chasey Mimim. Matthew Park, just to name a few.
Wow.
You have 6 states watching you on the program. Brian Dale Sr. says this is super cool. So you sent us a before and after photo that Judah's been putting on screen.
Oh.
Judah, if we can get that before and after photo on screen. I've known Chris Skipper since the commitment to health and nutrition and fitness and exercise. Mm-hmm. So the Chris that I've always known has been this like bright light for people. Mm-hmm. Like, and not just a bright light, but like a contagious bright light. People like to be around you. You have that quality. Did you always have that quality? Can you put in perspective the Chris Skipper that here is on the left? You sent us this photo. You know this photo well.
I remember that night.
Yeah,
kind of.
The Chris Skipper in the pink polo shirt.
Yeah.
Put us mental perspective of what's going on with that Chris Skipper.
Well, first and foremost, he really hated himself.
Okay.
And He seemed to be at large the only one. I think that I've always been very loving and warm.
And likable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't want to say whether or not I've been likable, but I appreciate that. I think that largely I was a good person who didn't believe in himself. And that was really what stifled me time and time again. I had a case of the, whatevers. But I think that though I made plenty of poor choices, I always wanted to be there for people. That was something about me that I can say was always there. That person, the one in the pink polo, he was completely lost. I mean, and if you had told me then that I would one day be this kind of like fitness and health influencer in this,
I was going to ask you that question.
yeah, I would have laughed you out of the room, like dead out of the room. I mean, you know, because, and that goes along with what I was saying about replacing negative experiences with positive ones. I am in some ways the same person, but I have emphasized the qualities that Chris once had, and I have largely, I think, diminished the ones that were debilitating to me moving forward in my life.
So I think we have a lot of similarities. One of the similarities that I'm going to ask, I don't want to assume, is when we put our mind to something, we go 1,000 miles an hour. We're like a buzzsaw. You're going to get on the team,
Yeah.
or you're going to get out of the way.
Yep.
Biggest strength, also biggest weakness.
Oh, yeah.
From time to time. Some folks call it doing things to the extreme.
Yep.
I embody that. Is that something you embody? And how has it been good and bad to you if it is something that you embody?
Well, a big concept of fitness and health is rest days, off days, days when your nutrition isn't pristine and being okay with it. I fall short in that area sometimes. I do get to the level of burnout, you know. I take on a lot of responsibility at work. And that is a good thing and a bad thing, because sometimes I do forget that if I'm just go, eventually the battery is going to run to zero. But I would say, I think that mostly pushing yourself to your limits is the goal. Like for
That's what I would say too.
yeah, well, I mean, for people that really want to change their lives or be successful at something, I mean, look around this room, right? Pushing yourself is essential. Actually, I have, and this blows my mind because this is another thing I would have laughed you out of the room about. Speaking of going all in, I have actually committed to my first professional bodybuilding competition in July of 2022.
That's awesome. That is so awesome.
Yes, with the Organization of Competitive Bodies, they are all natural bodybuilders, polygraph and everything. So that I'd like to, you know, briefly say that not all people that are incredibly fit are on performance-enhancing drugs. Let me say that too. But it's unreal to me that the level of drive I have has gotten me to the point where I've decided to compete at the professional level.
Before we go transformation, your entrepreneurial endeavor, before we go to the surgery that's on the near horizon, before we go to all the people you're inspiring and leading, I mean, I can't think of a coach that I would rather work alongside more than someone who's been on both sides of the spectrum.
Thank you.
Right? How do you think the Chris Skipper I know now is such a badass? How do you think you got to 340?
Oh, wow.
Is that too personal of a question?
Nothing's too personal for me. I am pretty much an open book. Let me see here. I had a rough go of it as a kid. I fell in with a bad crowd. Lots of drinking, lots of partying. I ate whatever I wanted. Good God, I mean, and like, I let a lot of decisions impact me poorly. So feeling that I was trapped is kind of what got me to the point where I kept gaining weight. And I just got so far And by the way, I do want to note, 340 was when I started actively losing. At my biggest, I was probably closer to 390.
Okay.
But I ate and drank myself stupid. Like, I mean, the amount of abuse I was putting on my body, and then, you know, I was eating too much and not moving at all. So that's the truth of the matter. I had poor health habits, and anytime I would try to fix them, it would be in a way that was not the way it's actually supposed to be done, just the way that you hear it's supposed to be done.
Good answer, honest answer, vulnerable answer. So you do this about face. You go to the gym. You got emotional when you said when you lifted that first weight for the first time, it changed your life. When you start exercising at ACAC and you start seeing the weight drop off, you said it was 40 to 50 pounds soon. That in my business in advertising is called a POP, a proof of performance.
Oh, okay.
And POP is such an amazing tool to leverage for confidence.
Yeah.
How did that POP impact your confidence level?
So it impacted it greatly because, like, I look back at those photos now and think about how proud I was then, and then I look at photos today, and I can't even imagine how proud I'll be one day if I keep going on this track.
That is so well said.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I was so proud when I was still like 50 pounds heavier than I am now, and today I'm like mind blown some days, and some days it's still hard. Like, you know, there's a whole aspect where sometimes, though other people don't see it, I do. I still see 380-pound Chris in the mirror some days. But the pop really happened when I took a cycle and strength class on New Year's Eve in 2019. That's when it really started to occur to me that I could do way more than I thought I was capable of.
So you were exercising on New Year's Eve, considering your body and fitness, where maybe a few years ago on New Year's Eve.
Oh, you don't even want to know what I was doing on New Year's Eve a few years ago. Some of you watching might. But anyways, yeah, complete 180 for sure. Yeah, about as far, you know, east and west as you can get.
You're swimming.
I am. I haven't been doing it as much lately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am. I can also qualify myself as a swimmer now. I can pop off a 300 meter if I pace myself and have proper form, and I do enjoy that as cardio goes. Yeah.
Your favorite folks to work with?
Motivated people.
Okay.
People that ask me questions, people that I hear from, because like a coach can only be involved as so much as you'll allow them to be, and I'm not a babysitter. Okay, I'm not gonna check up on you every day. So the thing is like, if the clients that I most enjoy working with are the ones that are most involved in their own success, because those are the ones that are the most successful. They're in touch, they send me their meals, they ask me questions, they feel like they're annoying me, but I'm not annoyed. I don't want to get a certification and just sit on it. I want to use it to help people, you know? So the people I enjoy working with most are highly motivated individuals or people with the curiosity to become highly motivated.
How much of fitness and exercise and nutrition is what you eat and when you eat it, and how much is getting up and moving, lifting, and getting active?
I can't fuel my body to work out without the right amount of food. So the way I coach is that I set up my clients with a nutrient split of calories, 3 different subcategories: protein, fats, and carbs. And from there, we work on their nutrition against their activity level. So they present me with their activity levels. And what happens from there is I'm able to help them either lose, gain, or recomp their body. Or if they just want to be generally more healthy, I can help them with that too. So as far as that goes, I think they go hand in hand. You can still lose or gain weight by eating, but I do think, I believe that it comes from both hands.
You have family, a ton of family watching you right now.
Oh, good. I love those people.
How about your family and seeing what you've done? How have they responded? How is the family? Because your family, I don't know about your family. My family is like my harshest critic. They come from the spot of wanting, you know, whoever they're speaking with to be the best version of themselves. My wife, for example, a no bullshit lady. You know, you're going to know where you stand with my wife at all times.
Yeah.
And I've grown to appreciate that. And she wants what's best for the people she loved the most. And it starts with me, our son, then parents, brother, and extended family. So how about your family and how they responded to, because it's almost like there's almost two Chris Skippers. There's before Chris Skipper and after Chris Skipper. And this after Chris Skipper is still blossoming into this person that is on the horizon, that is like fit and inspiring and a leader. The before Chris Skipper maybe didn't have some of those qualities that the after Chris Skipper has. How did your family respond to before Chris Skipper?
Well, I'll tell you this, since we're on the topic of it, I come from a long line of no bullshit women.
Okay. Is Karen one?
In Maryland, too.
Okay.
Those ladies don't take no guff from nobody. And I am grateful that I have inherited that trait. Now, where I was concerned, they put up with a lot from me over the years. In fact, they helped me to move up to Virginia, and they've never called it a handout, they've called it a hand up. So I stayed with them for a while, and they were hard on me. They made sure they were hard on me, motivating. And when I finally started making the sorry, this happens sometimes. When I started finally making those changes, it's incredible to me the way my relationship has changed with my family.
How so?
Well, my grandmother doesn't say what she doesn't mean. And she and my mother are my biggest supporters. I mean, seriously, my little sister too, my uncle James Walsh, who's a huge pillar of the community. He's in Texas now. It's just been amazing to see how immensely proud they are. They never miss an opportunity to tell me. And when you grow up with issues of, obesity and substance abuse or whatever, your belief in what you're capable of is low. And then to find that these people believed it in you all along and now see it, it's very motivating and very moving. So I don't think I could have been blessed with more supportive, involved family. Yeah.
Do you feel compelled to not let folks down, especially the ones that have been you through the thick and thin?
That can be hard because I'm human, right? So I fall short. I have a co-manager, co-department head at ACAC who sometimes will remind me, you may not be Superman, but you are a Superman. So realize that you can't take on everything. Yeah, she's great. She's just like me in a lot of ways. I do feel like I want to strive to be my best for the people in my life. I just got back from a weekend in Hampton Roads where my best friend just participated in his first bodybuilding show. And in order to be there for people who want to do their best, you have to be your best. And so, yeah, I do feel like it's important not only for myself to always be leveling up and doing the next thing, but for others. I mean, who knows who's watching? Who knows who needs help? Who knows what that allegedly perhaps self-indulgent post on Facebook, who knows who that reached? So yeah, it's extremely important for me to be a role model to the people around me.
Very well said. Again, we're going to relay some comments. So this one, I'm going to skip a few and go to one that just came from your mom about what you were just talking about. And this is very real, what she's about to say. She says, I never thought Chris would live to see 30 years old. It was my biggest fear, but I knew he had what it took to change his life, and he did. My heart bursts with pride for what he has accomplished.
She used to tell me she kept having this nightmare that I would be dead before I turned 30. And she told me that my 30th birthday was the happiest day of her life. Now I'm 31.
It's awesome.
So we've surpassed that.
How does that make you feel?
Pretty wild when you really think about it. When you think about what it means to get healthy, it really means you've added years onto your life and curbed preventable disease. The whole point of getting healthy, in a lot of ways, and the primary purpose of a coach is to help curb preventable disease and add years onto people's lives. That's the truth. So yeah, that's wild.
Marilyn Walsh, loving what she's hearing. Evan Alex, Ali Starr. Nate says, well said on client-coach relationships. Motivated people is key to the business.
Nate is also a coach, and he's actually someone I met online, and we are in touch quite a bit talking about stuff like this, yeah. Which also, it's important to have relationships with other people in your field, as you know. Mm-hmm. So I'm very lucky to have a community of trainers, Group X instructors, coaches, online coaches, fitness professionals, health coaches, just all around me.
Judy Wagner and Courtney Valadares.
Speaking of which.
Loving the show. Judah, if we can get the GoFundMe link on screen, and the show is yours here on a surgery that is on the potential horizon for you.
Not potential, it's scheduled for October 25th.
Nice.
So oh my God, I've worked so hard. You do not lose the sort of weight and develop the kind of community that I do by a lack of work ethic. I have been able to accomplish impossible things, and I am now comfortable saying that. For a long time it sounded like bragging, but it's not. It's not. It's me embracing and living in reality about what I've done. But something that I always hoped would happen is that as I lost the weight, that the skin would heal. And that's the one thing I can't do. And I have to live in reality about that too. Reality is the only place to live. And as far as that goes, there is a lot of loose skin. I may take a good photograph, okay?
You take a lot of great photographs.
Thank you. I think I'm kind of photogenic.
You are photogenic.
But I'm proud of the way my body looks generally, but there is a lot going on around the waist that will not fix itself. And it's very hard for me to ask for help, being that I am a helper. I prefer to be the helper than the helped.
Sure.
In every case.
Me too.
So I've saved a large amount of my money for a surgery that's going to cost about $13,000. But I've also created a GoFundMe campaign in case the community wants to support me in actively dealing with the last bit of my weight loss trauma, which is a thing. So what it is like, it may seem like some kind of vain cosmetic surgery, which is also what insurance will tell you if I were to get medically specific, but it's not. For me, it's something I think about daily. It's the most frustrating part of my journey. It just won't go. And I need it gone. Especially if I plan to competitively compete. And the thing is I think I can take this fitness and health journey to the utmost. But I need surgical intervention at this point. And
$13,000's a lot.
It's a lot. I can't afford it on my own.
Yeah, who could?
I'm doing a great job saving. I'm doing a great job picking up extra work. I do not believe in a handout, but I do believe in help. And so that's why, against everything that I wanted to do, I started the GoFundMe.
How hard was that for you?
Pretty damn hard. I've been thinking about this surgery for a very long time, and finally I got a few pushes I needed to do it. And furthermore, I had people push me to start the crowdfunding. I've been overwhelmed at the support. In about 2 weeks, I've earned $2,000 for a surgery that I have to pay for by October 11th. And going further into this, the quality of life that this will continue to inspire for me and allow me the capability to continue on this journey will be life-changing. And I want to say one more thing. This surgery is not about weight loss or health. I have done the work. It is possible to lose weight, fat, gain muscle, be healthier, be happy. But once the body is put under so much duress, there's only so much that can be done. And I'm unfortunately reaching a point where I need intervention. And so I'm being straight up about it and vulnerable and raw. And I'm so grateful at the way that my community has stepped up for me, because I never thought I would build a community like that, and that's what Charlottesville and ACAC have done for me.
Why?
God, I mean, I don't know. I hope it's because I touch lives.
Well, why did you never think you could build a village like this?
Because of the belief system I had set up for myself from past experiences. Now, I can see why people want me around.
Yeah. Dude, you're like, I find you very inspiring. You're coaching as much nutrition and fitness and exercise and health and putting years on people's lives. But mainly, you're coaching like self-confidence.
That's what I want for people. I want people to, I mean, health means so many things.
Because look at what self-confidence did for you.
It changed my life. The belief, hey, like, you can do this.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not just talking about me, I'm talking about you.
Right.
Like, there's
I mean, you went from 380 to this.
225.
I mean, amazing.
Not that I'm counting.
380 to 225.
For my bodybuilders and my fitness pros out there, that's 49.4% body fat to 19.8.
I mean, amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, if you can do that, you can do anything.
Except for one thing. Excess skin.
But
yes, other than that, I can do anything.
Have you considered the mindset of what it's going to be post-surgery?
Yeah.
Is it scary?
Surgery is scary as shit because I've never had it.
Yeah.
I've never thought I would have to. Because, I mean, you know, again, like my mother, I thought I'd be dead by 30. So you don't have surgery when you're dead. I hate to just sound so cavalier. I watch a lot of HBO dark comedies. But anyways, yeah, I'm scared. I'm not scared of the aftermath. I am scared of the aftermath. But what I'm not scared of is the fact that if I allow myself to go through this, though it's scary and not something I ever thought that I would do, I know that it's going to continue to change my life. So, yeah, I'm frightened. I think anyone would be when you're being opened up and things are being moved out and moved around. Yeah, I do think that there's a lot of fear that goes into that. But I know if I can just make it through the recovery period, which the shit I've been through in my life, Jerry, if I can make it through that, I can make it through a couple weeks recovery. And Mom has already said I could come stay with her for a week or two. And I know ACAC and they'll be there for me too. So,
Tough question for you.
more optimistic.
Tough question. Post-surgery, $13,000 surgery. We're getting the GoFundMe link on screen here. Guys, contribute to this GoFundMe, please.
Thank you.
Post-surgery, what if it's not what you want your body to look like?
Then I keep working.
Have you considered that?
Sure. Yeah, I have. Actually, I was thinking about that just this morning. But I do know a few things. Without all of this around my waist, everything's going to lift up. So if my body doesn't look how I want it to, truthfully, I don't know a single human being that works out whose body looks like they want it to.
Well said.
So
Well said.
that gives me inspiration. And one thing I will say, at this competition that I went to, I saw bodybuilders who had obviously been doing it for their whole lives. I saw bodybuilders with loose skin, a little loose skin that just wouldn't quite firm up. And then I saw a couple of people with incision scars from surgery. So, and those people, I want to say too, they placed, okay? They didn't just they weren't just there. They placed. They received medals or whatever. So, if my body doesn't look the way that I want it to, at the very least, I will not have the ring around my waist that gives me so much mental duress. And anything beyond that I can work on.
Your mom says she's in tears here.
Shocking.
Proud of her baby. Get to some of these other comments. Lauren, is it Atufamero?
Antifuemo.
She's watching. She says, Karen Skipper, hey love, he's so amazing. You must be such a proud mama. Nate says, Chris will end up helping tens of thousands of people in his lifetime. Keep grinding, silence the haters, and keep driving. We need more of the Chris Skippers in the world. What's that mean to you?
It's not a statement I thought I'd ever live to hear. I appreciate that. I hope every life I come across I touch.
I can't think of, I said this earlier in the show, I can't think of a better, like, North Star or compass, and that's what you are to so many people, than someone who's been, like I said, like, both sides of the extreme, both sides of the spectrum here. Throw this to you. When you're coming across a client for the first time, and the client's expectations of a coach may be of like 6'4", super diesel, a former athlete that played football in the NFL. I mean, we have coaches like this at ACAC.
Sure, yeah.
That play football in the National Football League.
Yeah.
That's not you.
No.
And then how do you, what's the response? Is there a response?
The response is that there is no body type that qualifies a person to train or coach. Second thing, a lot of people have not come from where I was to where I'm at now.
Exactly.
I would say defeating. That's the word that intuitively came out of my mouth. Defeating morbid obesity. 19.4% body fat is a healthy body fat percentage for my body type, which is where I'm at finally. So what I would say to that is, like, your trainer doesn't have to look a certain way. They have to have what you want and be able to help you, because there's a body and then there's a spirit.
I'd want the trainer that's been through shit and back, as opposed to the trainer that, and it's a cliche, and you've talked about this being a cliche, just has the incredible genes that came out of the womb with a six-pack.
Yeah.
I mean, we all have friends like that can put whatever they want in their mouth at any time of day in their mouth, and it just does not impact their waistline.
Yeah.
We all have friends like that. That is such few percentage of the population. The real percentage of the population likes to eat, loves to drink beer, IPAs.
Yeah.
Okay, love IPAs. My wife would attest to that. And realizes that if he's going to have some IPAs, he better be playing 2 hours of racket sports a lot of times at ACAC every day.
Also you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I'm not going to fit in my pants.
Yeah.
I can't be more straightforward than that.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this, I think that there's a trainer for everyone and a coach for everyone. It just depends on who you are and what your goals are. And, what's incredible is I coach people who want to lose a lot of weight, and I coach athletes now who want to gain a little bit of muscle. And that, to me, says that I have made my point pretty loud and clear. I think that coaching is for everyone. I think everyone should have a coach or a trainer or someone in their corner.
A therapist.
Oh God,
a counselor,
a doctor.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
God.
We should debunk that stigma of talking to somebody and how it's still stigmatized these days. There's nothing wrong with talking with somebody.
As a coach, you're expected to have a referral network of people, therapists, doctors, personal trainers, stuff like that. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that health is put on the back burner far too often in every single way. But I think that it just matters what you personally need. It's all about the client.
Well said. Starting a business. Have the courage to go from 380 to 390 to slim and trim.
Thank you.
The courage to go into ACAC for the first time, right? I mean, that is the definition of courage. Now the courage to start a business.
Yeah.
How are they connected? Where are the parallels?
All of my courage has come from stepping into ACAC. I truly believe that any good that comes from my health and fitness journey from here comes from that very first time I stepped into ACAC. I'll never, no matter where I am in life, and I plan to be with ACAC for a very long time, I will always credit the building of that courage to the people, the trainers, and the staff and the members at ACAC, all the way from the top with management, ownership, members, Group X instructors, personal trainers, just friends I've made. I mean, yeah, I owe it all to them.
Your grandma is crying. It says, "Bravo, Chris."
Thank you.
Jackie LeBeau.
Oh.
Nicely done, Chris. Vulnerability equals strength. Thanks for sharing the good, the bad, and the ugly. Well said, Jackie LeBeau. Daniel Wilder. Rad, Chris. This is so rad. Becoming an influencer, which you are now. I remember a conversation we had at ACAC. This was, you had this incredible physical transformation. And every time we ran into each other in passing at the gym or somewhere else, I was always like, this dude is so freaking inspiring.
And you would always say so.
I sincerely mean it. You always had a smile on your face. I always felt better after encountering you. And I remember one conversation we had was, let's, make this a brand.
Yeah.
Take this, level it up. And you've done that. You put in you grind in the sweat here. How hard is it to take a photo of yourself, no shirt on, and you have a place to go and you're not where you want to be, but you put it on social media, and trust me, with what I do with social media, it is hard because you're going to get haters.
Yep.
And there's something about these damn phones and these social platforms that breed hate.
Oh, yeah.
For some reason. And I've experienced it literally firsthand here.
Yeah, likewise.
Walk me through that, you personally. I mean, you're doing it in a very vulnerable level with body on social.
I just ended a friendship this week because of that very thing. If someone doesn't care to understand why you do something, then they are not really your friend, they're your enemy. I'll say that, and I'll say it with complete belief in that statement. So I would say that, I'm so glad I took my first nutrition coach. His name's Ozzy Husani. He's a local coach as well. He begged me to take those first progress pictures, and I fucking hated it. I didn't want to do it. I finally bit the bullet and did it, and I hated what I saw. But I look at myself now and I'm like, okay, look at that shoulder development. There's some muscle separation there. Your biceps are getting bigger. Your waist is getting slimmer. I'm seeing some slight definition, even though there's all this freaking fat still on there. I'm seeing some slight definition. So I think that it's just something that if you want to put yourself out there, whether it's personally or for your business, you just have to do it and deal with the blowback. Deal with the blowback. I mean,
that's what I want to go down this road.
End of the day, who runs your life? Right? You, me, whoever. All of my time is personal time. So I get to decide how I use that. And if someone doesn't like it, I invite you to unfollow me. I invite you to look the other way. But I'm going to keep doing what I'm going to keep doing because vulnerability for me is the thing that works.
Oh, that was so good. And it gets back to the self-confidence piece. It takes self-confidence to be able to handle the blowback, see the blowback, maybe not even want to because sometimes I just want to respond back with negativity.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where it's just ignore.
You're like, I'm good.
I'm fine. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with it. I get it. I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Everyone's entitled to their thoughts and opinions.
Yeah.
Do I have to subscribe to them? No. Do I have a hard time with that sometimes? Yeah, I've got a fat mouth. You can ask anyone that knows me. I've got a big verbose opinion and a lot to say. But, I mean, at the end of the day, the detractors in my life are far, far less than the people that elevate it.
Boom.
And that's who I'm there for.
Boom. Ricky Nash, so proud of you, Chris. Zach Smith, welcome to the broadcast. Let's talk about what's the next step for Chris Skipper from significant other, better half, love, dating standpoint.
There is someone I'm interested in. It remains to be seen if the same is reciprocated. I love that you asked me that.
Anything goes here.
For a long time, I didn't think I would have a partner because, morbidly obese, blah, 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 blah. And I'm not saying, for me, I'm talking about me. Anyone can have a partner. My standards are now ridiculously high. It kind of makes me laugh sometimes when I think about that, but I expect the same from a partner. I want someone I can build a whole empire with, a family, dogs, beautiful home. And I have my eye on someone. And if that doesn't work out, I'm sure I'll have my eye on someone else because I'm a Pisces. So.
Does the expectation for what you want in a partner translate to actual reality?
Yeah, sure. Can you clarify that?
Just mean
quantify that.
You said you have really high expectations.
Yeah.
With what you want in a significant other.
Yeah.
And you've also said early in the interview that you're human.
Yeah.
And while you feel the pressure of not letting your family down,
yeah,
you're a human, and that's going to happen because we're human.
Look, especially being a gay man. Men are maddening, by the way.
Why is that?
Well, because we're men.
Okay.
But also, here's something else. Men are also human. We need to be loved. We need to be encouraged. We need to be supported. And I need to realize that I can have my standards, but they can't be so astronomical that I dehumanize people.
That's what I'm asking.
And I also can't love an idea, right? So what I think has to happen is there are a couple of bullet points that I need someone to hit. I want them to be fit and healthy.
Okay.
I want them to
That's reasonable.
Be hardworking.
That's reasonable.
And I want them to like themselves.
That's reasonable.
No matter where they are.
Yeah.
And I think those are my standards. And sometimes they seem lofty, but really I don't think they are now that I hear them.
No.
Yeah.
Those aren't super lofty.
Yeah.
That's reasonable stuff.
The thing is I'm going to need to go to the gym with my husband. Or I'm going to need him to go to the gym and get out of my face. That too. Or vice versa.
It might be both.
Probably will be. So yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I was going to spend 30 minutes with the interview. We're an hour in.
Are you serious?
It's 1:30.
Oh my God.
That's a testament to you.
Wow.
Your story. You have 7 states watching you.
Holy hell.
What can Charlottesville, Central Virginia, Albemarle County, the 7 states watching you, expect from Chris Skipper over the next, say, year?
Well, I will continue to lose weight. I will continue to progress my career trajectory in whatever way that looks like. Who knows what the future holds with ACAC. They've already given me so many opportunities. My private coaching business is going to get bigger and bigger. I will be prepping for bodybuilding post-surgery after I do have to take a month off from working out after the surgery, which yikes. But I would say...
that's the recovery?
Yeah. To be trite, the best is yet to come.
I love it. The best is yet to come. I concur with that. Have you considered a movie script?
No, but I think I'm going to write a book.
Yeah, autobiography?
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
I've already got the title in my head. I don't want to share it yet, but it's in there.
A movie script.
Yeah.
It's waiting to happen.
Well, I would need Lana Del Rey to write the whole soundtrack, so that would be my only stipulation.
Who would play Chris Skipper in the movie?
Josh Gad.
Okay.
Maybe. I think maybe Josh Gad. There was another one I had in my head. But then Josh Gad was me 2 years ago, so I don't know.
Would you need 2 people?
No, I would need, yes.
2 people playing Chris Skipper?
For teenage Chris, because I would want it to be kind of like American Horror Story where it jumps back in time like at certain moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, there would need to be two people to play me, one for back then when I was younger and really obese, and one for a full-grown adult version of me today.
How much of Chris Skipper today has flashbacks to Chris Skipper back in time, teenage years?
A lot.
Yeah?
Oh, my memories
Now
are
just
there.
motivation, or still some of the dark stuff?
Motivation, and sometimes I get a little disenfranchised by my past, but then I remember that it's the past is done, like, and this is where I'm at now. And also, my story wouldn't be the same without it. Like, I wouldn't be able to coach and motivate and inspire people without the heinous background I had as a younger person.
Well said. Close with something poignant and inspiring. Anywhere you want to go, I could give you a moment to think about it here. Tomorrow's show, we'll do a preview. David, the owner of the new CBD dispensary in the downtown mall, is going to come, along with your friend who's watching. Is it Joanna Bresnan?
Yeah.
Is going to come on the show as well. So tune into the show at 12:30. My friend, the show is yours for a final word.
I would say any negative thing that a person believes about themselves may appear true in the moment, but it's probably a lie they've told themselves and spent a lot of time telling themselves. And the only way to create a new reality is to do it. I truly believe that people can do whatever they want. And it's up to them to do it.
Dude, you're amazing.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Inspiring.
I'm so glad you had me on the show today. This has been the best.
Well, I mean, every time you come on the show is fantastic.
I'm always happy to come back.
We will do it. We will do it again. In fact, some of your guests, some of your friends and viewers of the show, like Mary Beth Ongier,
Love you.
she says, "Would you please consider having this amazing, inspiring nutritionist, wellness, health coach on much more on your show?" Absolutely, Mary Beth.
I'm open to that.
Melissa Greer.
Yeah.
Chris is amazing.
Yeah.
He always looks at a glass half full instead of half empty. He's an inspiration to many people. Keep up the great work on the program. And I concur, man. Thank you, Karen, for the kind words. I appreciate that. She said the interview was great. We will archive the show on ilovecville.com, on Chris's platforms, on our platforms. This interview is going to be on every social media platform known to mankind in perpetuity, which means forever. And I would encourage anyone that's watched this to tell someone in your network about the interview, because what Chris has to offer applies to so many different avenues of life. So watch this interview if you're feeling, to use Chris's words, a little disenfranchised with yourself.
It doesn't have to stay that way.
It doesn't have to stay that way. Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's the show, guys. You see what we're trying to do here? Showcase the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. Chris Skipper, the best of Charlottesville, Virginia. For Judah Wickhauer, my name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille Show. We will see you tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Take care.
Thanks. That was incredible. Yeah.
And in person's way better.
Way better. I loved this. I enjoyed the Zoom. I actually fucking hate Zoom.
Yeah.
I'm so glad. I hope I never have to be on